The UK is the biggest trap, and here is why you need to get out now. Now, I left the UK at 21 years old. I lived there my whole life. Yeah, up until I was 21, until I moved to Australia. Since then, I've lived in New Zealand, I've travelled Southeast Asia and spent 2 years in Australia, and have only been back to the UK for a visit since. I'm still currently living abroad, and it's definitely the best decision I ever made to get out of that trap that is the UK. I'm hoping this video today can inspire a few of you guys who might want to leave the UK, or maybe you're just unhappy with your life, your job, the country you're living in. I'm not surprised, the UK is a mess at the minute. And here's a few reasons why you should definitely move, and it could just change your life. Now, this move from the UK, it doesn't have to be a permanent move. I'm not sure if I plan our move to be permanent from the UK, but I'm definitely happy out of the UK at the minute. And during my 20s, I think being out of the UK definitely is the best thing for us while trying to grow, trying to, thrive and stuff. The UK definitely isn't the place for that at my age at the minute, and it probably isn't for any of you guys in your 20s. First thing you need to do is realise there's a whole world to explore, and you need to get over that fear of potentially moving abroad or going travelling. It's not as big as it seems. Once you actually take the leap, it becomes so normal, and you realise that you're just comfortable abroad and you're going to live such a better life. First of all, get over that fear of the thought of moving abroad or going travelling, because what's the point in just being sat somewhere, living in a country where you're not happy, just staying there because you're comfortable and you're scared to take the risk and get out of your comfort zone. If I can move at 21, any of you guys can, trust me. So here's a couple of reasons why the UK is the biggest trap. Number one is it's such a system. Everyone seems to be trapped in a system. When you go traveling, it opens your eyes to the fact that we are just on this world, and we've created a life where you got to work 9 to 5, get a house, get a job. Moving abroad and going traveling opens your eyes to the fact that you don't just have to do that, and there's so much more to life than just doing what everyone else does. Even moving to Australia and stuff, it definitely confirms it, but going through Southeast Asia, seeing people out there and going traveling makes you realise there's so much more to life. And it makes you think, why are so many people just accepting a life that has been given to them when you don't have to live that? 90% of people in the UK, I find, even more than that, go to their jobs Monday to Friday, don't enjoy their jobs, gets to Friday, they're finally relieved it's Friday, go to the pub Friday night, get drunk, wake up hanging out their arse, waking up so hungover. This was me, at least, back in the UK. We get to Saturday night, they go out again because there's nothing going on, be hungover on the Sunday, get a takeaway maybe because they're feeling shit, and then feel shit because it's Sunday night and you've got work the next morning, and then you get up on the Monday morning and then repeat the whole cycle. You'd work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, you'd work all year for a couple of weeks of holiday, save up, buy a house, the usual shit. This was the sort of stuff that did not interest me at all. Why would I want to just live a life like that and be stuck in a job that I don't want to do when there's a whole world to explore? And I didn't even save up that much money to go and travel the world. I really didn't. I worked when I could in different places and then travelled after that. It's so easy when you put your mind to it to actually just go and travel and live abroad. You just got to commit to it. Escaping that system was the best feeling, because going home confirmed it for me as well. The fact that people, even 3 years later after living abroad, were still just repeating the same cycles, going to work, going out on the weekends. And every single week is the same. The best thing about living abroad for me is, apart from when I'm working at the minute, because life at the minute's a bit, we're working, we're saving, so it is a bit of a system. But when you're traveling, the best thing is no 2 weeks are the same, no 2 days are the same when you're traveling. And that's the best thing about it, compared to every single week of your year just being this system. The next one is the lack of ambition and support from people. When you move abroad, I feel like everyone is so much more ambitious. You're meeting other travelers, you're sharing your stories, talking about places you want to go, talking about places they've been, hearing all these inspiring stories. You're telling them about your dreams and stuff, what you want to do. I want to do social media, I want to get big on this, I want to go to this place. People are so full of support, other travellers and stuff who have done a similar thing. People are so supportive, compared to in the UK where you almost look down upon or something, or when you talk about your travels and stuff to other people, they don't really give a shit because they don't want to hear all your amazing stories when they're just living a mundane life. I feel like there's a massive lack of There's a massive culture in the UK for anyone who's doing well to hate on them. You see it with everyone. Anyone who's famous, anyone who does well on social media, they get support on the come up, they get support, they get big, and suddenly they start getting a load of hate purely out of jealousy. And that's such a culture in the UK. When you move abroad, I feel like people are so much more supportive of your dreams and your journey. People are jealous in the UK and they're fed up with their own lives, which is why they like to hate on other people. Another reason the UK is such a big trap is complaining about the weather. I feel like that's all anyone does in the UK, complain about the weather. Whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's foggy, windy, rainy, it doesn't matter. Everyone in the UK just complains about the weather. I know that's part of our culture, that's all we do. But living abroad, for me, I very rarely complain about the weather unless it is raining like the UK. In Australia, I was so much happier in Australia purely from the weather alone. It makes a massive difference, and being stuck in a country which is constantly grey and constantly raining, I can see why people are depressed, especially when you go through the UK winter, which is so long. You get to summer and you're not even guaranteed a nice summer. Do you know what I mean? Like, you might wait all year for a nice summer and find that the warmest day you get is about 25 degrees. It's just not a vibe. The next reason it's a big trap is living for the weekend. This ties into the system and the 9-to-5 stuff, but when you travel and when you move abroad, you appreciate every day. You look forward to each day. Each day is something different. In the UK, you go to work on a Monday, and then all you'd be looking forward to is the Friday. If I could skip them 5 days of work, I'd do it, do you know what I mean? And that's not a way I want to be living my life. I want to be enjoying and appreciating every day, rather than just wishing away 5 days of the week to enjoy 2, where I'm just going to get drunk anyway at the pub and probably regret it. So, living for the weekend, I feel like that's all anyone does in the UK. And I think moving abroad, traveling, makes you appreciate and enjoy every day of the week, which is the best thing. The next thing about the UK is waiting for holidays to finally escape the country and get a bit of a beach life. When living abroad like I am now, I get to do that sort of stuff on my weekend. This weekend, for example, just gone, I was on the beach one day, we were sitting at the outdoor pool on sun loungers the next day. The week before that, we were on the beach again. We might have a barbecue outside next week by the beach, swimming in the sea. We're doing all this sort of stuff on our weekends. In the UK, you've got to wait 6 months for your holiday to come round to finally get abroad and finally get on the beach and enjoy some nice weather. But when you move abroad, you can do stuff like that every week, and it's part of your lifestyle, rather than wishing away months and months of work in the UK to finally hope to go abroad on a holiday. Again, that's not the way I want to be living life. I don't want to be wishing away time so I can enjoy a few weeks abroad. I want to make my life abroad so I can enjoy that sort of stuff every week. And you'll be able to do the same thing if you've moved somewhere nice with a nice climate, particularly like Australia. You finish work and you go straight down the beach. It's a much better lifestyle than finishing work and going down the pub. So there's just a couple of reasons. This is not me hating on the UK. Realistically, I'm from the UK. I still like the country. All my friends and family are back there, and look, I might end up moving back to the UK one day anyway, but this is to open your eyes and show you that you don't have to stick to the system and the trap that is the UK, because it is a trap. I've never seen a country where everyone is so just stuck in the rat race. You see it a bit abroad, but in Australia, I feel like people prioritise their health, their lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? People are down the beach, people are running. In the UK, it feels like all anyone does is just go to their job, go to the pub, just the cycle. That's all it is. And this is to open your eyes and realise that if I can do it at the age of 21 with only a bit of money saved up, you guys can do the exact same thing. And I highly recommend that you do move abroad, because it could just change your life. It definitely changed mine. It got me out of that trap that is, you know, just waiting for the weekends, waiting for your holidays, and actually starting to live a life that you enjoy every day. It's the best thing. So if you need any help with moving abroad, check out my other videos, because yeah, I might be able to help you with a few things, finding jobs, finding houses, where to move, etc. So yeah, thanks for watching, subscribe, and get yourself out of the UK and living a much better lifestyle abroad.